The Huawei P9 and Mate 9 both have similar designs. The only difference is the screen size. The P9 is 5.2 inches and the Mate 9 is 5.9 inches. Both have a Huawei logo on the bottom bezel and a fingerprint sensor on the back. The only difference is in the shape of the fingerprint sensor and the placement of the cameras. Both have the same metal on the back, which is matte instead of glossy. The Huawei P10 and Honor 9 both have front-facing fingerprint sensors on the bottom bezel. To fit this in, the P10 has bigger bezels and a smaller screen of 5.1 inches instead of 5.2 inches, whereas the Honor 9 has the same size screen but larger bezels, making it a larger phone overall. The back of the Huawei P10 is metal using Huawei's Hypercut diamond finish, and the back of the Honor 9 is glass. The Honor 9 and P10's fingerprint sensors can also be used as home buttons. The Honor 9 can be used as a regular home button with two capacitive buttons on either side of it, but the P10 does not have those buttons, meaning that you have to use Huawei's one-button navigation, which has going back as the tap instead of going home, and to go home you have to long press the home button, meaning that it adds a delay. And speed is one of Huawei's biggest advantages, meaning that you will not be getting a speed advantage in the P10. Instead, you will be getting a speed disadvantage, and it also uses a swipe multitasking. A tap can be mistaken as a long press, and a long press can be mistaken as a tap, and swiping to go into multitasking often doesn't work. The phones have 1080p IPS displays. The Huawei P9 has a 1100 to 1 contrast ratio and a 500 nits maximum brightness. The P10 upgrades this to a 600 nits maximum brightness and a 1500 to 1 contrast ratio. The Honor 9 has the same contrast ratio, though the maximum brightness is only 525 nits. And the Mate 9 has the best display. Other than being the biggest, it is also the brightest at 660 nits maximum, and the highest contrast ratio, 1600 to 1. Unfortunately, the P10 does have two major disadvantages when compared to the P9 in terms of display. It gets fingerprints very easily due to the lack of an oleophobic coating. You do not have as many ways to interact with the P10 because they removed pressure sensitivity, which was a big thing when they first added it in the Mate S. So Huawei did not have pressure sensitivity in the Mate 9 or Honor 9. However, the oleophobic coating was in the Mate 9, and they re-added it with the Honor 9 due to complaints. All these phones have dual cameras, with one being color and one being monochrome. The P9, P10, and Mate 9 all have Leica lenses, but the Honor 9 does not. With the P9, both of the cameras are 12 megapixels, but with all of the others, the monochrome one is 20 megapixels. This is the only difference between the P9 and Mate 9 camera. The P10 produces better color quality than any of the other cameras. Although it does not have optical image stabilization, neither does the Honor 9, meaning that both of these phones do not produce as stable video as the P9 and Mate 9, and this is a big disadvantage when it comes to video. Low light pictures or a bokeh effect. The P10 and Honor 9 can both record video in 4K, but the P9 and Mate 9 can't. The Huawei P9 comes with a Kirin 955 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. The Mate 9 comes with a Kirin 960, 4GB of RAM and 32, 64, or 128GB of storage. The Huawei P10 comes with a Kirin 960, 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. The Honor 9 comes in the same model, as well as a model with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Unfortunately, not all P10s have the same RAM and storage speed, so some are slower than even the P9. The P9 actually lasts almost twice as long as the other phones in terms of battery life, as a 4000 milliamp hour battery compared to the P10 and Honor 9's 3200 milliamp hour batteries, and much bigger than the P9's 3000 milliamp hour battery. Although the P10 and Honor 9 do have this advantage of 3200 milliamp hours over the P9's 3000 milliamp hours, it does not offer a significant advantage in terms of battery life.